House Beesbury of Honeyholt are considered among the minor noble houses from the Reach, sworn to the Hightowers of Oldtown. Despite their status as a minor house, they play an impactful role in the history of Westeros, specifically during the first half of the Targaryen era. Their seat is Honeyholt and is located next to the Honeywine River, which flows towards Oldtown and the Whispering Sound. Their banner is 3 yellow beehives on a black pale over a parley black and yellow field. While their house words do not appear in the main book series, according to semi-canon sources, they are "Beware our sting." The Beesburys descend from the First Men, and like most of the noble houses of the Reach, claim to have been founded by a child of Garth Greenhand, Ellen Eversweet. According to legends, from wider sources, and from House Beesbury itself, Ellen loved honey so much, she sought out the king of the bees in his vast mountain hive and made a pact with him to care for his children and his children's children for all time, becoming the first beekeeper. The first major role House Beesbury plays in the history of Westeros is during the early part of the Targaryen era, specifically in the year 42 AC, during the Faith Militant Uprising against King Aenys Targaryen, and later his brother King Maegor the Cruel, reportedly taking the side of the Faith. During King Maegor's legendary Trial of 7, in which 7 champions of the Faith faced King Maegor and his 6 champions in trial by combat, Sir Dickon Flowers, a bastard of House Beesbury, known as the Bastard of Beesbury, was one of the 7 warrior sons to take part in the trial on behalf of the Faith. Sir Dickon died during the fight. Later in the year 84 AC, during the reign of King Jaehaerys Targaryen, Sir Braxton Beesbury, the heir to Honeyholt, was a favourite of the king's willful and wild daughter, Princess Sarah Targaryen. After he and his retinue were embroiled in a scandal with the princess, having taken the princess's virtue, King Jaehaerys sentenced Braxton to a savage mutilation. However, as is his right as a knight, Sir Braxton was allowed to choose a trial by combat. But this was not to be a normal trial. Sir Braxton would represent himself, usually in the case of a member of the royal family being the accuser. They are normally represented by a knight of the Kingsguard. But the king took Braxton's actions as a slight against his honour, and chose to face the much younger man himself. Braxton was slain in a duel with Jaehaerys the following day. Lord Lyman Beesbury was the Master of Coin and a member of the Small Council during the reigns of Jaehaerys and King Viserys I Targaryen. When the Dance of the Dragons broke out after the death of Viserys in 129 AC, he was present at the Green Council in support of the claim of King Aegon II. However, when he voiced his support of the rights of Queen Rhaenyra, he was ultimately killed. How he was killed is debated. Some say he was arrested at Otto Hightower's command and sent to the Black Cells where he died of a chill, while others, that Sir Criston Cole, the Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, either slit his throat with a knife or threw him from a window into the spiked moat of Maegor's Holdfast. Lyman's death was kept a secret, with most believing he was languishing in the Black Cells for much of the war. Lyman's heir, Sir Alan Beesbury, loudly demanded the release of his grandsire, until he himself was captured in a battle on the Honeywine. A Lord Beesbury, Costain and Redwine were part of the escort of the High Septon of the Faith to King's Landing for the wedding of King Aegon III Targaryen and Queen Jaehaera Targaryen in 131 AC. After the Queen's death in 133 AC, Lady Samantha Tarly, who was the paramour of Lord Lionel Hightower, and technically the Lady of the Hightower as well, due to being married to Lionel's late father, included a Beesbury among the maidens of the Reach, whom Aegon could marry when his Regency Council were looking for a new wife for the boy king, sending many of these maids to the Maiden Days Ball. During the tourney at Ashford Meadow in 209 AC, Sir Humphrey Beesbury splintered 12 lances against Sir Humphrey Harding in a match the small folk called the Battle of the Humphreys. Humphrey Beesbury, who happened to be brother by marriage to Humphrey Harding, took part in the Trial of 7 on behalf of Sir Duncan the Tall. Humphrey Beesbury was slain in the first charge by Sir Donald of Duskendale from the Kingsguard. During the main book series, covering the Baratheon era of Westeros, House Beesbury plays a much more minor role in events. During the second book, A Clash of Kings, specifically during the events of the War of Five Kings, King Renly Baratheon names House Beesbury as one of the Reach houses supporting him during his parley with his brother, King Stannis Baratheon at Storm's End, during the events of A Storm of Swords. Sir Bertram Beesbury meets Jaime Lannister and Brienne of Tarth at Brindlewood on the way back to King's Landing after leaving Harrenhal, giving them the news of the events of the Red Wedding. Later on, during a feast for crows, Brienne recalls that Sir Hugh Beesbury took part in the wager on her maidenhood, offering her as a present a pot of honey, as sweet as the maids at Tarth. This is all we currently know of House Beesbury.